Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video and another day of Bookmas. In today's video we're going to be trying to read some more books off my 25 for 2025 TBR. Now I have managed to read a few of them. I still have some left. I think about 8 to 10 left. Let me just grab my reading journal because I'll be able to tell you which ones are actually left. On the list we still have Never by Jessa Hastings, Legendary, which is the second one to Carnival, Dear Dolly, Divine Rivals, Better Than the Movies, A Little Life, After the Races, Just for the Summer, The Serpent of the Wings of Night, and Metal Slinger. 10 left. So in this video my aim is to try and read 3 of those 10. I have actually picked which 3 they're going to be, so I've got 2 of them here. So we have Dear Dolly and Better Than the Movies, and then we have Divine Rivals. I went for those 3 because first of all they're a little bit shorter, so they're a little bit more realistic to try and read before the end of the year, instead of like A Little Life, which is like nearly 800 pages. And also there's a bit of like a mix. We've got like a YA romance, a fiction book, and or non-fiction. I don't actually know what this one classes as, but yeah, just a general. And then we also have a fantasy as well, so a little bit of a range. So I'm going to be starting with these 2 just in conjunction with each other, because I can't just sit and read a book like Dear Dolly. I have to have it alongside another book, so I'll be reading these 2 in conjunction with each other, and I'll obviously come back, give some thoughts and stuff. It's been a while since we've done a reading vlog, and I know I've been really slacking on videos, but I'm back with Bookmas, so you've literally got like 12 videos to watch. Let's just jump straight into today's video and get started with some reading. Balancing skill I have done to put you there is incredible. So I'm going to talk fast just in case you start falling. I am reading Better Than the Movies, obviously, as you saw, and why are the chapters so long? Like, I've literally read chapter 1 and I was like, my god, this chapter's like 20 pages long. What is that about? I honestly thought, I don't know why, but I had the impression that this book would have short chapters. There are only 17 chapters in this book, or something like that. So can you imagine, like, and there's like 300 pages, so that's a lot of pages in each chapter. But we're going to carry on reading. So I literally just read 1 chapter yesterday, but I'm going to carry on reading today and try and get through a couple, as I don't want to spend too much time on this book. I honestly think I needed to read this book earlier on in my reading journey. I know that a lot of people rave about it, but again, I also think that they have read this book early on in their reading journey, and I have a very different reading taste to what I had when I first started reading, so, or when I got back into reading, should I say, because obviously I used to read when I was younger. I do think that I probably not going to enjoy this book as much as I would have if I'd have read it at a different point in my reading journey, because I just have a very different book taste now. I mean, I have only read 1 chapter, so let's, you know, carry on reading on and I'll come to a conclusion. So I'll come back with some updates on the books. So, oh my god, I'm really clumsy today. So let's go with Dear Dolly first. It's separated into different sections of themes. So the themes in the book are dating, friendships, relationships, family, sex, breakups and exes, body and soul. So I'm now in the friendship section, and basically these are taken from Dolly's Sunday Times style column. So there's like a little problem at the top that someone's wrote in, and then Dolly basically answers that in a couple of pages. So I've just been making my way through them. I'm enjoying it so far. I mean, some people, like, honestly, some of the things are very relatable, so I am enjoying it so far. Kind of more just a casual read alongside other books. And then we have Better Than the Movies, and I'm now on page 197, so I'm on chapter 9, so I am like a good chunk of the way through the book, and I'm actually enjoying this more than I thought I would. I think in the clip the other day I mentioned that I don't really read YA books anymore, which is still true, but this one I am actually enjoying more than I thought I would. And I know we do have like the main male character that she's trying to go after, and then we have the character who she does end up with, which I think a lot of people know from Better Than the Movies, like who she ends up with anyway. but I like that we're focusing more on the character that she's going to end up with and less on the other person, because I feel like sometimes you can focus too much on the other person, then it's all of a sudden like, oh no, she's going to end up with this different character. So I like that we're actually focusing on the person that she's going to end up with rather than jumping back and forth. I'm enjoying it so far, and it is YA, you know, it is more of an easy breezy romance, and she does say some things like the female main character that you think, oh god, that made me cringe a little bit, but still I am really enjoying it. So yeah, I'll come back obviously with more thoughts towards the end and let you know, but I am obviously like halfway through, so I'm enjoying both of these books, and I'll come back with some more updates like when I get through a bit further. Better Than the Movies. So we're on page 216, so we've got about 100-ish pages left to read, so I'm going to try and finish this off today. I am enjoying it, again, like I said, so far more than what I thought I would, so I'm going to carry on reading this today, and I'll come back with like final thoughts and stuff, because now we're just kind of getting into the bit where she's like, she doesn't know what to do. I'm going to carry on reading, and then I'll come back with some final thoughts and stuff. I've also brought Dear Dolly down here as well to try and get in a couple more of those as well, but I think I'll read that alongside Divine Rivals, which will be our last book for this video. Now I'm just come upstairs to the reading room to finish off the last pages of Better Than the Movies. So I thought we could get my blanket and just get really cozy, because I'm cold and we have a lot of people coming over this afternoon, so I kind of wanted just to have a bit of chill time to myself before everybody comes over. So I'm going to sit in here, have my blanket, I'm about to go and do my hot water bottle and then finish the last pages. She's now got to the point where she's like, knows who she wants to be with, so we're getting there, we're getting to the end, and I am actually enjoying it more than I thought I would. So like I keep saying, we've got that, and then the next one we're going to read is Divine Rivals, so that is in this room as well. So I thought we can come up here, and then at least we're closer to the next book that we're going to read. Like I said, I come up to the reading room to do some reading earlier, and I actually finished Better Than the Movies, so I think I'm going to set on like a 3.75/4 star. Like I actually enjoyed it more than I thought I would. Yes, it was YA, but it was less YA than I thought it was going to be, so there was still like innuendo jokes and stuff in there, so it's a little bit less YA than I thought, which I enjoyed. I've took a break since then. I've been editing some TikToks and stuff. If you ever want to watch my TikToks, I do have all of my other socials linked in the description, so you can go and have a bit of a browse over there if you want. I have like a book TikTok, but I also have like a TikTok where I do like food and other videos and stuff, like things to do around where I live and like travel stuff. So it's like a bit of a random food, travel, lifestyle TikTok if you ever want to watch that. Anyway, self promo over. I'm now reading Divine Rivals, so I kind of needed a bit of a break between finishing Better Than the Movies and then picking this up. So I did read the prologue, and I've started reading chapter 1, and then I've just took like a half-an-hour break just to edit some TikToks for the week ahead. Then I can just hit post on them when I'm ready to post them, rather than having to edit throughout the week, because I would rather focus on filming Bookmas stuff in the week. I also have a uni assignment due for draft submission at the end of this week, which I got over halfway with the other day, so I just need to continue doing that this week as well. So I got the TikTok editing out of the way so I could focus on doing other stuff this week. I'm getting distracted from the fact that this is a reading vlog and not just a general vlog. We're going to read Divine Rivals next. I have started it. I'm on chapter 1. I am going to aim to try and read, I'm going to say to page 50, because at least that's like a decent chunk done then. At least to page 50, and then I will come back with some thoughts and stuff, because I feel like at least I might know more about the story and whether I'm liking it or whatever. I know it's a fantasy, but I don't know if it's like a YA fantasy or what. I actually don't know much about what this book, what category it sits in, so I'm sure I'll soon find out. So I'm going to carry on reading this now, and like I say, try and get to page 50. So I'll just sit here for a little bit and do some reading. I'm on page 11 at the moment, so another 40-ish pages to go. A little bit of an update on where I was, because I think the last clip was me talking about reading like 50 pages of Divine Rivals, and I don't think I've updated you since then. So I am still reading Divine Rivals, but I am actually away for the weekend, so I'm hoping to finish it off this weekend because I'll have more time to read. But we've just come away to a cabin. Also, I'm so proud, this fire was going out and I've just managed to get it to come back on, so I was really proud of that. I'm now on page 164, so I am obviously like a lot more of the way through, and it's split into 3 parts, so I'm now like halfway through part 2, so I'm hoping to finish at least part 2 off today, if not the book. We'll see how much reading time I have, but everyone else has just gone out of the lodge to go swimming, but it's so cold that I just don't want to do that, so I've stayed here and I'm just going to read and stuff for a little bit. So hopefully I have like about an hour of reading time just by myself, so then I could just chill and we'll see how much of the book I get done. Yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I didn't realise it was going to be so historical fiction style, obviously fantasy, but still quite historical fiction. I didn't realise that that was part of the book. Not that I don't enjoy historical fiction, but I just was not expecting that. So yeah, I am still enjoying it. It's just not what I thought the book was about, to be honest. I didn't really read any like summaries or anything. I just kind of knew about the magic typewriter situation. So I'm going to carry on reading and then I'll come back with some more thoughts and stuff, because I don't have many thoughts. There's just a lot of stuff going on and I don't really know where the storyline is going, because there's just like little bits and bobs happening. Obviously there's the romance element, but the other bits I'm not quite sure how that's going to lead into like the rest of the story. So I'm just going to carry on reading and I'll come back with some more thoughts and stuff when I get further in. Come back with an update since I've been home from the lodge, and I've been home like the whole week. So I actually finished Divine Rivals whilst I was there. I think I'm gonna give that one like a 3-star maybe. I liked it. I liked the romance element, but it just wasn't really what I was expecting. I don't think I'm gonna continue the series. I might just Google like the summary of what happened, because I still want to know what's happened, but I just don't think I'll be continuing the series, at least not anytime soon. The last book that we have for this video is Dear Dolly, and I'm actually nearly finished. So there's this much left. So there's it, like I said I think earlier in the video, it's split into different sections, so I have the last 2 sections left to read, so I will be reading those hopefully today. Some of the issues that people are having are like really funny because they're really relatable. It's just like normal people problems. I'm going to continue reading this today and I'll come back with final thoughts later. Dear Dolly. I've decided that I'm not going to be giving it a rating just because it's a non-fiction, and I just feel like sometimes I don't like to rate non-fictions. Like, this is her advice column. Who am I to rate her advice? I actually really enjoyed it. I think her writing, if you have been in your 20s and had that messy 20s feeling, you will relate to a lot of stuff. But if you haven't necessarily had that 20s experience, which is totally fine, everyone's allowed to have their own experiences, I've had the messiness, I will put my hands up and say that I have, then you can relate to some stuff that's in here. I mean, you might be able to relate to it anyway. It wasn't all just about 20s, there were people in different stages of their lives asking for advice, and yeah, I would recommend giving it a go. It might not be for everyone, but I actually really enjoyed it. That is the last book of today's video. So we've read Dear Dolly, Divine Rivals and Better Than the Movies. Getting those 3 off of my 2025 TBR feels like a really good achievement, because now I'm like way over halfway. I've only got a couple of books left, which I don't think I'm going to get to before the end of the year, and that's totally fine. Reading taste change, which I think is crazy in like a year's time, and also it doesn't feel like it's been a year since I set that TBR, but it has. And I've now picked my 26 of 2026, which I will be running through at some point in Bookmas. But yeah, crazy. But thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow for another day of Bookmas.